Hi, everybody. Welcome to The New Normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Monday, so we are going to catch you up on all the crypto news with Mame Crypto. We're going to check on her blog and see what is going on in the world. I know she's been working on a lot of Christmas gifts, and we will kind of go from there. We'll be right back after this quick break. Hi there, Mame. Happy Monday. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Lisa.
Thanks for joining me a little bit early today. I scheduled something that for my Patreon. I'm going to have a reading with and talk about some price predictions with SL and Brandy here right afterwards, and I got the time zones all mixed up, so I apologize for being a little bit early today.
You're always back to back. You have a lot of energy. I love it. And I'm going to head over to Instagram and do a live over there in Portuguese, just kind of covering the same stuff that we cover here.
Good. Okay, that's great. Yeah. And what they can find you the same handle, Mame Crypto, on Instagram.
At Mame Crypto, exactly. That's me on Instagram, and but I'm doing more Portuguese over there because I feel like the Portuguese people are always lost. Where is her content in Portuguese? Okay. So I'm kind of dedicating my Instagram to Brazil. So there is a little something in English there, but bulk of it is in Portuguese. So you got to be a little Latino to hang out
to be able to hang out over there. Yeah. The other day,
because some Spanish speakers can understand too, so they jump in, and
it is very similar to Spanish, Portuguese. I know, my friend speaks Portuguese. She's from Brazil, and so then when we used to go to Mexico pre-COVID, she was able to translate a lot, just because the language is so similar.
No, it's amazing. You pick up a word here and there in the beginning, but then if you pay attention hard enough, you end up picking up everything. And yesterday I was amazed because there is a new Litecoin Foundation community on Twitter in Spanish now, and I was excited to see that. I was like, oh my gosh, a new Litecoin Foundation community in Spanish. They followed me, and I realized they retweeted some of my stuff on Odyssey too, and then I was like, perfect,
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's the birth of a little Latin America Litecoin.
That's awesome. Yeah, way to grow that adoption.
I know, folks, go check it out. Show the support to the.
Definitely, yeah. And I've done that before, where like I'll see an article that I think is in Spanish or Portuguese or something, and I'll share it with you, hoping that you can like decode it for me, because I'm just not really sure. But
I know, and there is good stuff going on in that neck of the woods.
Definitely, all the stuff happening in El Salvador. There was a really great article that I just sent you talking about Litecoin, that it was pretty mainstream. Whoops, I just put in the wrong one. Let me find it real quick.
Sure.
Sorry, give me just a sec, guys. That it was a very mainstream, like, I don't know if it was MSNBC. Let me find this article really quick.
MSN.
That's the top 2 cryptocurrencies to buy in right now and hold forever.
Yes, that was the cute headline attached to it, and I do feel like Litecoin and Bitcoin hodlers, a big part. It's a big deal. There are several cryptocurrencies that you buy here and there, but you're gonna resell. There are some that you're gonna hold for a long, long time, and Litecoin is definitely on my list as well.
Yeah, and I got into this article for some reason. My computer's not allowing me to open this.
Oh,
Very
it didn't
cool.
allow me to open two, so I had to just speak through
Very
the
weird.
headline. I think you gotta sell your soul to MSN to be able to read
Well,
the
I was
article,
able
and
to
I'm
read
not
it
willing to do that
on
just yet.
yeah, I was able to read it on my phone, okay, and it had some really cool,
Yeah, and it's funny because
statements talking about it in the article, so I wish I
and
had
I'm logged in. I do have a very old Hotmail account, so I logged into that just to see, and then it still
if you
didn't
could see
allow
it.
me to open it. And I'm like, what do you guys really want?
Yeah.
So then I gave up. But another one that relates to this statistic, it's that one that you sent, which I loved because I love data, and this
Yeah.
was research, a survey done by Grayscale,
Mhm.
and mentioned, it's more related to Bitcoin, but it
Right.
still goes to show that a lot of people that despite the dips and corrections, they are entering this market with this mindset that they are going to hold this crypto for a long time, especially Bitcoin. So according to Grayscale, 26% of adults in America own some Bitcoin, That's a huge number. I didn't
This
expect it to
really
be this low.
surprised me. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, it used to be single digits a
Right.
few
I
years
feel
back.
like even when we started doing our show together, we were talking about 2 and 3%. Maybe we were talking
5%.
worldwide, not just the US, but to hear 26%, this really surprised me.
It was a huge surprise to me as well. Out of that 26%, so it's a huge growth just this year. 55% of that number bought Bitcoin in the last 12 months. So I would say all these new avenues that open up, such as PayPal, Robinhood, maybe helped, just double the size of investors in a year, more than double, because 55% is more than double.
Yeah.
And then, according to the survey, the people who got interviewed, 66% of the new Bitcoin buyers are planning to hodl it. So it's out of that number, you see that people want to buy and stick with it for the long haul. Maybe because they are newcomers too, they are fresh in the market. When you do buy Bitcoin for the first time, you feel that spirit and you're like, okay, I'm gonna, hodl forever kind of thing. And you do have that assumption that it's gonna continue to go up. But of course, even right now, we're feeling this volatility and everything. So maybe it is shaking some hands. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, when I think about where we were, just even last March or whatever, was it last March or was it the March before? The years are blurring together for
Right.
me with what's going on health wise in the world. But was it last March where we were seeing $4,000 Bitcoin, or am I thinking 2019?
How much? Today I
When it
was
was in the spring and it was 20 and it was like 4 grand. Was that 2019 or was that
That was
2020?
2019.
Okay.
This year, I was looking back today out of curiosity because
Okay.
one of my favorite traders, I follow him just for trading advice and just a little bit of guidance. It's called Burb's Nest. He's on Twitter, and he tweeted the Fear and Greed Index, which is today at fear at 16%. And I used to do my weekly news that I used to feature that weekly index, so I went some of my old videos to look, and I saw early this year, I don't know if I went as back as January, February, so I'm not sure, but it was like at 36,000. And the greed and fear, it was extreme greed at 66, or it was like high percentage of extreme greed at 36,000. And right now today was, last time that I looked, was at 49,000. and we are at 16% extreme fear. So it's really like how incredible, you would expect not to be as extreme fear, it's still a good price. I don't know how to
Crazy what is going on with the markets and
it is.
finance just globally. I mean, I know I shared a couple of things that were going on. I know we talk about crypto on here, but that also is affecting what's going on in the world. And Biden's administration ruled or mulls over a nuclear option, disconnecting Russia from the SWIFT payment system, in case they invade. This was a statement made. And so then there was a guy here. I'll screen share this with you guys just so you can see this. This is the train of thought that I was on.
I even went in to check who he was, Vladislav.
Yeah. So I saw this, and then I found
what she saw is a guy that he published something on Cointelegraph Russia, on Telegraph, on UK Telegraph, I don't know, and he mentioning that he feels that since he gave a tip, that this probably could happen, big Russian entities started investing in Bitcoin reserves as a possible substitute for SWIFT. So now that Biden I don't know if did it, Lisa, you may know better than me in that regard, but it may be that Russia, big bankers and big companies are already prepared for this, and they've been buying Bitcoin regarding to this Vladislav Ginko at that range when it hit 3,500. That was
so this guy said that. I don't know whether they have or not. I went on to find another article where Russia and China have been working together to make the yuan stronger and building bonds. There's more and more countries that are not choosing, and I can share those. I'll share those probably tomorrow when I do my show with Sean. We'll talk more about that and kind of what that looks like, that there's more and more countries. And this one article that I shared from, I think it was Japan, was talking about the different percentages of how much they're not buying US bonds anymore, how much Russia is not even, as well, with all of these threats that are happening. And then, now Biden has said that diplomatically we're pulling out of the Olympics, and China has said that, basically made threats to the US that if you don't participate, that they threatened us, basically. So I don't know what that looks like. Yeah.
I didn't know that, Lisa.
That just all happened today.
Today? Okay, yes. I was a little busy in the morning just taking my little girl, so I read what but this is, the things just seems to be escalating
pretty quickly.
And according to some data, I think we even mentioned this map maybe a few shows back. It was a statistic map at the time that showcased how the US controlled the payment system, the world payment system, through the SWIFT. And it was like most of the transactions worldwide were in blue, US was going through USA's bookkeeping, right? And I think now the most recent map that I've seen, I wish I had the source here at the top of my head, but it showcased definitely more Chinese dominance in that map for sure. And I don't know, it's scenario is changing worldwide, and it's not something new, right, Lisa? If you look throughout history, it's always changing, it's funny because, I talk, because my family is mixed, and we have different backgrounds, and sometimes we talk, and I'm talking, I go to Turkey, for example, and they were once an empire. Sometimes you talk to them and they still have that feeling like, oh, we were an empire, but they are not anymore. An empire is long gone, but it's still not too long for them. They haven't forgotten how it felt,
Yeah.
culturally, because it's still, it was in this not in this century, the 2000s, but it was in the, few centuries back that it ended, that consolidated, after the Second World War, the First World War, if I'm not mistaken. But it's still something fresh to them. And you go, for example, to some countries like Spain and some countries in Europe, and they still have that embedded, because they were dominated at some point, you know what I mean? And that culture got embedded over there. So you go like to southern part of Spain and you see more, Moroccan shaped buildings, and,
Right.
it's so, and it's all of a time. And I think like United States, it's amazing because when I look at it, I look from no matter how American I am now, I look from a foreigner perspective and how I grew up. And in Brazil, I grew up going to cinemas and dreaming of America because of Mickey Mouse. And, it was all like Hollywood, and everything was so surreal, and it looked very promising, And, but then you arrive and you realize, it's a home, and you gotta work just like anywhere else. And, it's not just this, glittery dream. In fact, when people go to Los Angeles and the Hollywood, they take the Hollywood walk, they realize, oh my gosh, Hollywood is this. Like, it's not
Right.
as glamorous as it's painted, throughout
Well, yeah, and
the.
now what they have, what's rolling out in the courts and
Yeah.
all the stuff behind the scenes in Hollywood. Britney Spears movie came out about what's been going on with her
Yeah.
and a lot of the other children at Disney,
No,
that
and the
kind of stuff.
aspects I like our business is in Anaheim, and
Oh,
we are neighboring Disneyland, and Disneyland is there, beautiful, all glittery, with the high-end stores around and the nice restaurants. But behind, there are tents and tents and tents and tents,
mhm.
like behind the highway, of new homeless people that are just coming and becoming more and more and more. And inflation is kicking in,
Yeah,
so we've
hardcore.
seen
Yeah.
$5 gas prices, and so it's like, it used to, I don't think in the 80s when I was growing up, and in the 90s there was as much poverty as we're seeing right now too here in the USA. So I mean,
Well, and they
maybe,
say that most families are like, I don't know if it's one or two. I was reading an article the other day that it's like either one or two paychecks away from being like, um, or maybe it was one or two house payments away from being out on the street.
yeah,
And that is a scary thought when you look at where inflation's going right now and what's going on in the country and the amount of unemployment and, just where we are right now.
yeah,
Um, because
yeah.
and housing prices and all
But
this, and
then
then just
keep on
cost of
going up.
living with the
Yeah,
inflation. So, if you're trying to feed your family and drive to work and inflation's kicking in, hyperinflation is kicking in, and they've admitted now they're, pulling back that transitory inflation and
yeah.
talking stagflation like in the 70s. I mean, how does that family budget for that when the income is not rising with it?
It's
So it's
it's
just really.
crazy. I sometimes I don't know, and maybe this is a reflection of us not making as much commissions on and sending as many wires globally, as all those things are, less money coming in the United States, I guess, from foreign.
Well, that's what this article was saying, and I shared it to my Patreon, but it was saying that the other countries are not buying the U.S. bonds,
Yeah.
that Russia and China,
Yeah.
Japan, all of those are not buying the US bonds like they were. So that means those dollars are not going to those other countries, which,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
makes our,
I just hope we can boost our economy somehow. And I don't know. I have no idea. But the only when I think of the possibility of war, I just get desperate. As a Brazilian, I
yeah.
just can't
I hope
comprehend
it, I
that
don't
ever.
think it has to come to war. I think we can opt out just like, El Salvador did, just like these other countries are doing. They're opting out of the US dollar. And I think we can all do that too. We can opt out and choose another
Yeah,
currency,
yeah,
Our
yeah.
currency doesn't have to be
Well,
changed by the government.
totally. I wonder what's the market cap of the, crypto markets today, like the total market cap.
I don't know where I would even go to find
Probably.
total market cap.
I
Would
think on
coin
coin market cap
market
space.
cap?
Let me see
Let me see.
today.
Uh,
Market cap. Yeah, 2,285,751
but how do we even
billion.
keep up with the amount of money they're printing? Because I was watching Economic Ninja, and he was saying they're printing over $1 trillion a day right now. So
Right.
how do we keep up with the amount of money that just in the US they're printing? I don't know what they're doing in other countries,
Yeah.
if they're doing some of the same thing, because then, like, if you're looking at market cap, basically Bitcoin or cryptos have to eat all of that centralized currency for us to get out of that unhealthy
Yeah.
economy, you know?
Everything is sucking that value, Lisa.
Mhm.
Products, real estate, the inflation and of course Bitcoin and
Yeah,
cryptos are
good
also
point.
increasing with as they print, the more supply, and it goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you completely uninvested, right, you're not gaining anything. And there are several people that are small hodlers too that maybe are not. It's not significant enough to make a huge difference. I'm one of them.
That's that's true. We do have other hard assets like gold and silver and land, of course, and real estate that
Yeah.
can, pull that market cap as well.
Yeah,
Um,
here in California, real estate is out of control. How high it's becoming. If you haven't grabbed a year, 2 years ago, right now, you're gonna go into a bidding war with any
mm.
property that you getting yourself into.
So
Try
have
to.
you seen them dump? Because I've heard these stories about where like Zillow was buying up all these houses, and then they stopped it, and then they dumped a bunch of houses on the market. Are you seeing that in your area?
Not in my area.
You're not seeing
Not
a lot
yet.
for sale.
They haven't dumped anything here yet. I don't think so. Here it's very, I mean, my neighbor's home went on the market, and I swear in less than a week, it went like it was amazing how the number of cars that came for the open house, and in less than 1 week, it was sold for over 15% asking price. So
Wow.
15%
Wow.
over asking price, which the
Wow.
asking price was already,
Very high. Yeah.
very high,
I've
So I
my
was
husband
like
had
really surprised.
my husband won some trip. This was years ago when he was working at the Infinity store, and he got to go to Google before we knew they were evil. And and he toured the Google campus, and he's like driving by the houses and all this, and he's like, "You're not going to believe." He's looking up on Zillow, and he's taking a picture of this house, and he's like, $3 million, this little
I know,
house.
it's crazy.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
it's like LA.
$2 million. It was crazy.
Yeah.
This was probably 5 years ago, something like this. And I just couldn't believe it. So I can't imagine what they cost now.
Yeah,
Um,
crazy. Like I live in a small town, so mine is not crazy like that.
mm,
But if you up in LA, or if you up in the high end Orange County areas, like the price per square footage, you will buy like a little home that you would pay like 50,000 somewhere in mid-America, like, old home that
Right,
you're gonna have.
right.
And here it's like just because of the plot of land, it will cost you several $1 million and you're buying like something that you're gonna have to gut it.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's crazy. So that's why there is so much homelessness. The people can't afford to get into homes, and there isn't homes available. I think they haven't developed as much, I guess, or someone. I think you are right, Zillow and Redfin. That is maybe giants, corporate institutions, because I've seen a lot of high end, investor teams. It's interesting because I've been with some friends in real estate hunts and several friends that were buying homes, and I just went for fun, with them. And I literally, like, I would see like Teslas and people talking, and it's like in groups of investors, and
mhm.
so I see a lot of families trying to buy and not being able to buy, and what is buying is like investors,
Wow.
that
Yeah.
are buying.
That's concerning. Yeah, because it's not
Yeah,
really families coming into the
I
community.
know, it's interesting, but I do feel that in the long run, they are trying to make it hard for people to own things, a little bit, like in a way or another. Like, for example, even the policies for people that own more than one property, if they have a rental property, today they have unforeseen risks through COVID. Many didn't get paid, and there are several
Mhm.
issues
Yeah.
now that make you hesitant to
Yes.
get into this space as well. So I don't know. It's really strange.
It is.
The world is strange, Lisa. This
Johnny was
holiday.
talking about that's another great reason to get into crypto and then learn about like farm yield farming and all that, because at
Right.
least on that, the government can't tell them they don't have to pay their rent. So you're
Very
not sitting
true.
there with all your expenses of being a homeowner, and having to pay your taxes and pay your mortgage, but then your renter doesn't have to pay. So,
Yeah,
um,
I
yeah.
know. It's crazy. I've seen people that sold properties because they don't want to have rentals anymore because it gave them a headache.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Let's put it
sure,
like
I'm
that.
sure.
Thank
I
God it's
wanted
a good market. At least they are selling it well. You know.
yeah, I wanna touch on just a couple more stories. I know we don't I've gotta jump off here
Sure.
in a little bit, but, Bitmart, had a big hack, and they had over 2,000,000, in the hack performed by unknown attackers. I don't know how much is known about this hack still, but, it was an exchange that suffered an attack. This says yesterday, but I don't know. Oh, no, this is still 9 hours ago. Okay, so that's pretty current still. The attack targeted the hot wallets of the platform, specifically the Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain wallets. So I will tell you guys, there's with some of this other news with what's going on with Russia and China and the US and these veiled threats going back and forth. There's also threats from Russia to take out satellites, things like that. This is so important for everybody to not have your cryptos on exchanges right now. Um, Other than what you're willing to lose if you're making trades or whatever, like this, it's so important to be responsible with your wealth. Westwood and I preach it and preach it and preach it, and so many people do. But right now is especially a really important time. Sorry, they're tearing down trees in my neighbor's yard. I hope you guys can't hear all the chainsaws going off.
I hope you
Um,
can hear my stomach howling here. This
oh, are
is
you hungry? I made her jump on early, so she's probably had to put off lunch for me. I'm sorry. Uh,
No, I usually just have a bigger breakfast than I had this morning. I don't know why.
oh, okay.
Yeah, extra
Um,
hungry today. It's the weather. The colder it gets, the hungrier I
the
get.
more hungry you get.
Yeah.
There's some other things. Sheba has been burning the midnight oil, the community. I mean, every day I follow this She Burn because I'm a Sheba holder. So we got in really early. And it seems like every 24 hours I get this. They're burning anywhere from 1 to 2 million. Shiba coins. This was a $16 million burn, 9 transactions. I don't even know how many this is. So far, I don't even know how many that is.
I know
A lot.
while Shiba is burning, I know I love it because every time it says burn, it's a great thing, right? Less of it in the market space. But I hear Ethereum is being burned constantly as well. And I forgot the name of the guy that I follow that I usually get. CryptoLark. I like CryptoLark.
CryptoLark.
He's
I've
very
heard of
fun, and
him.
I watch him on Odyssey, and he's always touching base on how many Ethereums have been burned, and he's always very impressed by the numbers as well. So I gotta study a little bit more about the burning process and understand the reasons why. And to be honest, it's one part of crypto that I never dived into too much.
Yeah, it's just from my understanding, I mean, it creates that scarcity. It's, you're just.
They overcreate it, and then they, I understand. I understand the concept, but I just want to understand why it's done. I will study a little bit. And I remember first time I heard of burns and things like that was with BNB, Binance Coin and Binance Token. That was when I first heard of it. And that's something fun, Lisa. I was like, this is great. The Twitter is working on NFT verification.
I thought you would love this.
I loved it. I really did. I'm gonna try to do it.
Are you okay?
And I'll let you guys know
after you do it. Then I'll let you walk me through it. I thought this was interesting, and they're using a lot of different wallets, or allowing a lot of different wallets on it, which I thought was really positive thing too.
The integration seemed pretty easy, and Blockworks shared this video that, super, easy to understand. I think I'm going to give it a try, maybe even later today. And if I'm able to do it, I'll let you guys know.
Do a little video and then we can.
I know it will be fun. I accept that you got to hide some things, and I may have trouble doing that. I never know.
Makes it a little more challenging.
Tech savvy, that's the problem.
I definitely want to have time to touch on. I've got at least this one. I don't know if I can find all of his tweets, but El Salvador's president is just a badass. And someone was totally trolling him and was like, oh, do you think he just trades the countries for the country on his laptop? And he just writes phone, mic drop, walks away. Can you imagine you're trading for your country on the phone? Oh, the other one was where he gave, he totally pounded Peter Schiff about gold. Because Schiff was giving him crap about, oh, you're being irresponsible with your country's money. And he said, if I had put it in gold, then I would be down this much. And instead, we're up this much because I've been buying since Bitcoin was 3,000, however much for my country. And we're actually like 200% better off than if we had bought gold. I mean, he just went after him and put him in his place.
Let me give you some data. Let me give you some math, Peter. And right now, if I sell it, I'll buy double the amount of gold I would have before, triple, quadruple. So zip it. That's lovely. I love that he has the balls to really, voice his vision. And I just, have a lot of hope on his experiment and how this is going to teach other nations that this might be more fun than you realize, so we'll see. Long-term hodlers, I don't think there is any of us, that's stuck for, a full cycle or two that realize that this is meant to be, and this is really a different kind of lifestyle almost, you really, and to have him do that with a country. And I sure hope that this project has longevity, and we get to see it developed, and it gets to prove to the world that Bitcoin is a great solution.
Well, we're seeing it all over the world.
Yeah.
Here's another article talking about, in Canada, this was Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs that pay monthly yields were launched. I'm just going to blast through a couple of these. Let's see, new Bitcoin mining firm Grid is to go public, which this is even weird to me. Like that there's Bitcoin mining companies then going public. And I can't remember, somebody told me who owned this. I wonder if it was, no, it's not listed on here. It was someone, I can't remember who owned it. Somebody I didn't like. Oh, the Facebook digital wallet guy was to leave the company. We've seen a lot of executives leaving companies again in another wave. We saw this back in 2016 or 2017. And there's a lot of high risk court cases going on right now, and we're seeing a wave of executives leaving that I think might have something to do with it. I know that's interesting.
There was another one that I saw was in Japan, supposedly going to restrict the stable coin, and they are going to introduce some legislation to only allow banks and wire transfer companies to issue stable coins. So I wonder, that's,
that means that it's going to be the countries. Those are CBDCs. That means not decentralized stable coins.
Exactly. It's probably, maybe soon we'll come up with their own, CBDC or something like that. But
we saw China do this several times, right?
Yes,
and this
exactly.
is kind of like the banning Bitcoin and all that.
And we saw when India did similar, and then it just dispersed more people when the young generation to dive more into it, and then they stopped the ban because it was actually causing the opposite effect. So sometimes these bans don't go as well as the governments would like.
Definitely. Let's see. I have a couple more minutes. I can stay on. I want to try to get as much information out as we can. Let's see. That's the Bitmart. Goldman Sachs says multiple banks are exploring Bitcoin-backed loans. I guess that's not too much big news. We kind of know. Oh, here's a Brazilian one. 200 million Brazilians will be able to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin on Latam. How do you say that?
Largest e-commerce wallet. I think, did we touch base on that one? Is that
did we talk about this last week?
I think we did. It was the Mercado Bitcoin, which is Mercado Bitcoin, Mercado Livre, which is the Brazilian version of eBay. And that is huge. I mean, there is a connection between them and eBay, and I would love to see eBay doing the same thing. Imagine if for the holiday.
This wallet the same company as that Mercado?
I believe so. I believe this news is related to that because it's the largest e-commerce wallet, and that is Mercado Livre is probably the largest e-commerce wallet in Brazil right now. Amazon probably would be coming next, you guys. I don't understand why they haven't done it. I was hoping like maybe one of those big retailers would maybe call some attention for the holidays and say, for this holiday, pay with Bitcoin or something like that. It would have
I'm
been
surprised
amazing.
With BitPay having all that set up, the on-ramps are already there. An AMC theater using BitPay, and so it's not like I don't know.
Maybe they are waiting for regulation to be more clear. That's what I think. But once it becomes yes, hopefully we're gonna see that being implemented everywhere. It would be so cool.
Yeah, I think it's right here. I mean, all this news, the SEC chair being very positive, saying Bitcoin's a catalyst for change in the payment system. Facebook will allow crypto companies. I know I went to buy a Christmas gift online, and there was Facebook wallet was an option for payment. I would never have a Facebook wallet, but that was an option for payment on.
There you go.
That's the
There you
first
go.
time I had seen that. So.
Yeah.
This was, I thought, a great reminder to our Litecoin people. And this is from Sea of Light or Lightsea on Twitter. It says, it took Litecoin just 3 months to beat all other altcoins on BitPay after it was added this summer. I bet BitPay wishes they'd added it sooner. And should you join the
Wow.
Litecoin fam?
That's great
That's
statistic.
pretty significant, I think.
It really is. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yeah, people use Litecoin. People don't
Mhm.
understand, but that's why there are several transactions. The number of transactions is always high. Daily transactions is high. It is just a fun network. It's cheap to transact in. I love it.
And you can trust it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where it's
yeah,
very trustworthy.
for sure.
Let's see. This was very bullish news. They're saying that this NY dig, I don't know why this is significant because I'm not familiar with it, but it's talking about bringing Bitcoin to hundreds of thousands of US banks. So this is they're partnering with a lot of businesses, including banks. So it's other businesses as well.
Another bridge.
Another bridge. Yep. And this is for in 2022. So
There you go.
good
Wow, I
information.
wonder, let's see on the comments what people think. Do you think, you guys, are we in the end of the bull run, like by Christmas, end of this year? Or do you think this bull run is going to extend into 2022? I really wonder what the crowd thinks.
So put a
Let's see.
1 if you think that the bull run's over by the end of 2021, and put a number 2 if you think the bull run extends into 2022.
Into 2022. Yes. I wish it would extend forever. No, not true, because that would be not good for a lot of people as well, right? Especially given the reasons why. I definitely want our economy and our globe and our energy worldwide to get in tune and hopefully more balanced, right? More balanced earth, more balanced environment, more balanced world in which people are not hungry, and hopefully Bitcoin can help us get
I
there.
think Bitcoin can help get there. I think there's just a really, really cool video. I've mentioned it a couple times on different shows, but if you guys go to Swan Signal, I think I've talked to you about it too. Yes, I know I have talked to you about it, Mame. If you go to Swan Signal and look at their latest documentary, it's I think about 7 to 10 minutes long. And it kind of talks about the history of money and then goes into like the dream of Bitcoin and how, using renewable resources, we could mine Bitcoin and help, the world and humanity. And it's really cool.
For sure.
Really great
Look,
video.
talking about this renewable thing, that was the last thing I shared with you
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
our thing.
yeah.
I saw on Coinbase Pro, because I am there just to see, what's coming new. Let's see, what's fresh. And then I saw, transfers for Koval, IDEX, and then I saw MCO2. I'm like, MCO2? Is that MCO2? Because that's Moss. That's a project that
Oh,
is dear to
yeah.
my heart. It's the carbon credit thing that I, was working with and helped them do a little marketing. And it may be, I'm not sure exactly what this means. It's super available in the regions, but I don't know, maybe Coinbase is maybe it's coming, I know Gemini listed it, and now I see, maybe other American exchanges having interest in that, and that could be something very beneficial to Brazil, and South America and the Amazon, and bring a little bit of resources that way. So I thought that's something positive, hopefully.
Yeah, I
I was
think
like,
so.
yeah,
I was really excited, like just watching this all kind of play out and how you explained, what your friend was doing with, they were cataloging resources in the rainforest, and then what Moss is doing with helping companies to get connected with, groups that are doing good at, making sure to replenish those, trees and things in the rainforest. And heal that carbon footprint, which I have my feelings about using those words and all that kind of
I
stuff.
know.
But I know that we do, when we use resources, we do want to
Yeah,
replenish trees and things like that. We want to, give
I
back to the
even
earth,
I even see some fun NFT projects that were tied into, you buy an NFT and the person plants a tree, stuff like that. That has nothing to do with moss, but I think people
Oh,
are
okay.
trying to find innovative ways to use blockchain to help our environment. And I think that, right now, what happened with moss, from my perspective, is this: there was good projects that were validated by the Veta system that really were doing something significant in preserving a region of the forest, but it wasn't attractive. People weren't buying their carbon credits, and that carbon credit was undervalued comparing with, Elon Musk and the regulated carbon credit that only a very private handful of institutions have access to. So what they are doing is allowing us to dive into that market space a little bit, tokenizing it
Okay.
and giving accessibility. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
only time will tell, truly,
Yeah.
but honestly, without it, I don't think we could have participated in it, even if we wanted to. So now, at least we can probably dive into it, like, maybe not as well, and like the big companies that are trading these regulated carbon credits among each other. You know what I mean? Because um, Elon will sell it for, they'll sell it. There are several things that are happening that we don't even really understand. So I think the
Well, I know. I
more,
mean, he just sold what, $68 billion of shares of his company or something. And they're talking about, that's
yeah,
most likely going to come into the crypto space here pretty pretty
when
soon, if
I
I had to guess, you
yeah,
know.
when I see blockchain, I think of more transparency in this space, being able to see things through. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, so we'll
Yeah.
see, but it's definitely very unknown territory. I don't know, like, I don't know what the future is, and sometimes I have good feelings. Sometimes I'm like, sometimes I don't, but I do,
Yeah.
because I know that in this one in specific, because I feel like, okay, maybe something, is preserved, for real, not, then I'm like, okay, this is better, because this is the lungs of the earth,
Right.
and we really need it. I've
Well,
been
it's
into
exciting. Mm.
Netflix too, and into watching, like, environmental stuff too. That's the, I go to Netflix and I watch programs that talk about
Okay,
environmental
you need to watch Gathering. If you have you
gathering. Let me write
Yeah,
that
have you
down.
watched it yet? It's about, these all these native cultures and how they're they're like, protecting their food source, and by protecting their food source, that protects their culture, and it's a really cool documentary. But
Yeah.
I love documentaries. I like watch
For
them.
sure. Like, if we could go
So
back to farming and the good old days, I kind of would
mhm,
like it. I'm kind of
yeah.
like Nana. I love
If my
nano
back
style.
could tolerate it. It seems really fun until you actually have to do it. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it seems really
I've been thinking
romantic till
about
you live
having
out there.
chickens, and then I'm like, "How am I gonna record?" They're gonna be like, "Co, co, 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 co," and then I realize I can't.
No, it's great. Nana's amazing. I don't know how she does all that she
She's
does, but
amazing. Oh, yeah. We
I
love
can't even
her.
keep, like, an aloe vera plant alive in my kitchen, but it's fine.
Yeah, but I am obsessed with plants too, and I love planting. And I'm sad now that it's winter and my little garden is not rocking these days. But I definitely like when spring comes. I'm
When you
gonna
get all your
make it
little
rock
plants out.
again. Now I have just leaves. My arugula is doing great.
Oh, that's good. You can have a little arugula salad then.
Yeah, we've been having arugula with fish, and it's yummy.
Oh, that's good. Well, one little update. I got a
Oh,
message from my friend Jenny Moonstone today that she is going to be joining us in Florida. So if you guys are able to make it to the meetup in Florida on December 17th in St. Pete's, we will be there. Got and Snippy is coming as well. So Jay Snip, for if you guys follow Joe, he'll be there, and Rice Crypto is coming. So we've got the gang. The list of the gang is growing
yeah,
quickly. We'll miss some of our favorites. Tom's not going to be able to make it. He's in the chat, and one of our very first Patreon members. So we'll miss him, of course, but we're going to have lots of Blind Dave will be there. Public's going to be there. Westwood and I will be there. My friend Amber's going to be there, and we're going to have lots of fun. Mame might
now
still make
what's the
it.
best airport to fly in? Tampa?
Tampa, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's TPA, Tampa.
Yeah, I've been
And
trying, but I've been
the
finding
house is
some
like 20
weird
minutes north.
stuff. The connections are a little bit cray for me over here, but I'm still trying, Lisa. It may be
Check
the case because of
Southwest.
mm,
Try Southwest.
I'm gonna try Southwest and talking to the family because of so many connections and with a little one, it would be difficult. It may be the case that I try by myself. So wish me luck here. I'll keep
Okay.
you on the loop.
Okay. Well, we would
I know
love
you're
to.
running today, so run.
All right. Thank you. And if you guys aren't already on my Patreon, it won't be live. It'll be recorded, but I'm going right now to set that up with Brandy and SL, and I'll have it posted later this evening. So, Michelle, thanks so much for joining us and bringing all this great information. And thanks to everybody joining us in the chat. Please give us a like and share this video, get more information out. And hey, take MSNBC's advice. I will rarely say that, but buy Bitcoin and Litecoin and hodl it because it's good stuff.
I know. Thanks, Lisa, for everything. And I'll see you guys on next Monday. Yeah.
Yes. We'll see you next Monday.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.